Welcome to Introduction to Geographic Information Systems. This, and the other learning resources in this course have been made possible by funding from the European Commission's Erasmus Plus program. This learning resource discusses a term you should be aware of, GIScience. As discussed in the introduction video, GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems, but it can also stand for Geographic Information Science. Though most people now use the acronym GIScience to avoid confusion. What is GIScience? Geographic Information Science is the discipline that studies the techniques to capture, represent, process, and analyze geographic information. In other words, while GIS is a tool, GIScience is the theory, knowledge, and research behind that tool. O'Sullivan and Unwin use the term accidental geographer to refer to those whose understanding of geographic science is based on the operations made possible by GIS software. While this is a basic introductory course, we will discuss some of the theory behind the buttons you press in GIS. You do not want to become a push-button analyst who can create interesting presentations but has no idea what they mean. Thus, you also want to learn a bit of GIScience. GIScience can roughly be divided into two camps of participants, though there is great overlap between them. One are those focused on the development of GIS as a software or technology. People in this group are concerned with improving, refining, and extending the tool and technology itself. This group tends to be computer programmers and software developers, many of which work for the main GIS software companies, but some work in universities and other organizations. They deal with the underlying, and to a large extent hidden, logic and computer code that permit us to ask questions such as, how much land is going to be flooded by rising sea levels? The open source Geospatial Foundation is a good example of these sorts of GI scientists. It is a community of people working to build and distribute open source software. They are the organization that put together the Geo Bundle that is an option to download from the QGIS website. The other group in GIScience are those more concerned with broader questions, such as how cognition, map interpretation, and other geospatial issues are relevant to GIS. They are also interested in the social consequences and implications of the use and diffusion of GIS technology. For example, an area they might be interested in is the ethical implications of privacy for GIS. Locational privacy is of concern to many people, especially with the advent of smartphones that have GPS tracking. They examine questions such as who has the right to view or determine your geographic location at any given time. Your family? Your employer? The government or police? What is the ethical implications of creating and distributing maps, databases, or other presentations of locational information using GIS? There is overlap between both groups, with some people working both on the theoretical aspects of GIS and the practical ways of implementing those theories. Both groups are very important. There is a lot of complaints about accidental geographers because many times they put out work that, while looks nice, is inaccurate or useless for real-world applications. So you need to learn a little geographic information science to avoid being one of those unfortunate people.